Good morning, good morning, good morning. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and you are breathing. Today is Tuesday, May the 21st, 2024, and I would like to welcome you all to This is Just a Thought with Stephen Cornegay. Hope everyone will enjoy their Tuesday, or hey, you may be just going to work. This may be your first day at work. Not for me, of course, Monday. It is somewhat the beginning of the work week. We are one day totally in. By the time you guys hear this, it may be 2 days in. So it is the beginning of the work week nonetheless. Wow. Hope everyone, like I said, will enjoy their Tuesday. And I hope everyone had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Weather was looking pretty good in certain places, not so much here in North Carolina, but it was still the weekend nonetheless. Hey, before I go any further, hit that like and subscribe button so you can get notified when I drop these podcasts. Keep you in the loop. Hit that bell icon also. That will really make sure you get notified. It just will. Hey, there's a lot of interesting topics I'm going to be talking about. Some of you may say, hey, those are some good topics. Or some of you may say, hey, that is garbage. That is trash. Shut up. Go sit down somewhere. Whatever the case may be, get in that comment section. Let me know what you guys think. I'm pretty thick-skinned. I won't bite. I won't bite. Hey, I got to know if I'm reaching my audience. Let me know if you guys enjoy what I'm talking about. Or maybe I could talk about some different things, some more topics. Who knows? Who knows? All right, let's move along here. Today's word of the day, gamut, which means a range or series of related things. Gamut. Man, well, the weather here in North Carolina, I guess you could say we ran the gamut somewhat, or we're getting ready to run the gamut. We ran the gamut last weekend with the rain, and it was, I got to say, it was a welcoming sight. I always enjoy the rain. Um, you know, it relaxes me. I don't know about you guys. I enjoy it. It relaxes me. But man, the sun is out and the rain is gone. In fact, temperatures are predicted to be 90 degrees by Thursday. And going into next Monday, they're saying 93. Man, with the temps, like I said, Thursday's going to be 90, and the rest of the week, it's going to be in the 80s and the weekend. But with that temperature rising into the 90s, here comes the humidity. That North Carolina heat is coming back, baby. It is coming back. And if you're from North Carolina or you've been in North Carolina a while, you know how that North Carolina heat rolls. That humidity, it ain't nothing to play with. So, man, if you got to be outside, especially when these temperatures start to rise, sunscreen, and of course hydration, water, Gatorade, whatever those new little packets, those electrolyte packets they have out now. Whatever the case may be, if you're going to be outside in those temperatures, because those temperatures are going to rise, it's a coming. It's a coming. Hydrate, and sunscreen. Just a little public service announcement for those of us of the African American community that may be saying to ourselves, we are naturally protected from the sun's harmful radiation. No, you ain't. No, you ain't. Put on that damn sunscreen. Stop being silly. So everybody, please, hey, take care of yourself when these temperatures start to rise, because it's coming. Hey, it's the 21st of May. June is right around the corner. We all know how the heat rolls in North Carolina. Speaking of weather patterns or strange weather patterns or predictable weather patterns, aside from what's coming here, the heat here in North Carolina, man, the Midwest is still getting slammed, overran, still being plagued by those severe storms and tornadoes. Well, it is the springtime. It is the springtime. And as we all know, the Midwest and that Southwest, they get hammered in the spring. They just do. So pray for those folks out there. They're still getting it. Little pockets here and there. Just pray for those folks down out that way. Man. It was most definitely eye opening, and it made you sit down and think, especially after last week. If you happen to catch some of those newscasts, or if you were strolling down your social media feed, I'm sure you guys saw some of those tornadoes and severe storms and how it affected folks. Folks are just going about their regular everyday life. Then all of a sudden, out of the blue, wham, here comes a tornado. Here comes some severe storms with hail and severe lightning. So pray for those folks out there. And another PSA: if you're out and about and you happen to get caught in one of these storms, man, just be aware and be alert of what's going on around you at all times. Heed the warnings, heed the watches. Now, warning is telling you conditions are favorable, but a watch is telling you it's coming. It's been spotted. Something has been spotted. So keep that. You got these cell phones on you, so I know you guys can hear those little pings or dings or alarms. I get them all the time, not just for abductions, but severe weathers also. Just be mindful and aware of what's going on around you at all times. This is the spring. This is the spring. And as we all know, the spring is so unpredictable, and the weather can change at the drop of a dime, and you won't even know it until you're in the thick of it. So stay alert, stay vigilant, stay at the ready, if I can say that. Wow. The NBA playoffs. Well, looks like the conference finals are set. It's done. It's a wrap. We're down to 4 teams now. On the Eastern side, the Indiana Pacers versus the Boston Celtics. Now, wow, the Pacers ousted the New York Knicks. Now, the Knicks' fault, and I got to give them their props, they fault not just through that game or that series. They've been fighting the whole playoffs. Injuries. And Jalen Brunson got hurt. I believe he messed up his hand. I don't know if it's broken or sprained. And like I said previously, he just doesn't have any help. They need to get him some help in there this offseason. They had a good run. I got to admit, the New York Knicks did have a good run. But the Pacers, very reminiscent of that 1990s rivalry between the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks. The Pacers ousted the Knicks once again. Like I said, Jalen Brunson was injured. So it's going to be the Indiana Pacers, Halliburton, and the Boston Celtics, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. It should be the Celtics. It just should. And hell, they're well rested. I mean, they've been at home the better part of a week, resting up after they drug poor little Cleveland through the ringer. So they should be rested. It should be the Celtics that take this series, and they should take it pretty easily, I would think. On paper, it looks like that. And hey, like I said, Jason Tatum is hitting on all cylinders. Brown is doing the same thing. But haven't we been down this road before with the Boston Celtics and Jason Tatum and Brown and company? Yeah, we have. But like I said, man, the analysts are predicting the Indiana Pacers. They just don't have the firepower to withstand that Boston Celtics attack. And maybe they don't. Maybe they don't. But time will tell. Time will tell. That game is coming on tonight. But tomorrow night, coming out of the West, this was a shocker. It floored me. I was floored. Looks like it's going to be the Dallas Mavericks versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Yep. The reigning, defending NBA champs Denver Nuggets were ousted by the Minnesota Move Your Damn Feet Timberwolves. They did it. They moved their feet. For a while, it looked like Denver was going to take that series, but Minnesota got back to the basics. They started moving their feet on that defense, started hitting their shots. So Joker and Murray, those guys are out of there. They're at home. Was it a fluke? Denver winning the championship last year? I don't think so. I think Denver bounce back next year. I said, I love to see them play. I just do. So maybe they can figure it out and get themselves together, and they could get them another one next year. But don't look like it's going to happen this year because the Dallas Mavericks with Luka and Irving, man, when Irving gets in his zone, it's a wrap. You can hang it up. He ain't missing. When he's firing, and he's gonna let it out. He's gonna let it off every time. And when Luka gets in his, oh boy, help us all. But the two, it's either one or the other. It's never the two together. It kind of raises an eyebrow. Oh, I tried the little rock thing. I can't do it. I can't do it. It kind of raises an eyebrow because you never see those two hitting on all cylinders together. It's very rare. I don't know how that's going to work in these this conference final with the Minnesota Timberwolves and the way that Timberwolves play defense and of course with their star I can't remember that guy's name, but whatever the case, I don't know how that's going to work. I just don't. So they're going to have to come to an agreement or an accord. They're going to have to do something where they're going to have to be hitting on all cylinders together, and not just one night Irving's doing his thing and then another night Luka's doing his thing. That ain't going to work. I don't think that's going to work against Minnesota and how they play Edwards. I'm sorry, Minnesota star Edwards, because once, like I said, hey, he comes out the gate in the groove. He comes out and he ain't playing. He ain't mixing no words with you. He ain't there to break bread with you. He's just there to break you, and that's what he does. He breaks you down. So we'll see what happens with this series. Like I said before, this may be one of the best NBA finals we've seen in a while. Because who saw the Minnesota Timberwolves? Who saw the Indiana Pacers? No one. I didn't. I don't care if you're a fan. There's no way in the world you could convince me you knew that Minnesota was going this far, or you knew Indiana was going this far. Hell, there's no way you could tell me that. Well, you probably could tell me that if you're an Indiana fan, you knew you guys were going to advance. You really didn't have too much to fight off in the early rounds of the playoffs. But I got to say, this very well may be the best NBA playoffs we've seen in a while. With Minnesota and their style of play, wow, just wow. Dallas Mavericks, Kyrie Irving. Now we all know Kyrie Irving got into it last year. He got into a little bit of a trouble. Folks were trying to counsel him, trying to get him out of the NBA, so much so that may have been the reason why he ended up in Dallas, because the Brooklyn Nets said, no way, no how, you're not playing up the par, you got to go. He got into it. He got into a little bit of trouble because of some anti-Semitic statements that he made in regards to the Jews and the slave trade. So they were saying he was anti-Semitic. He was ignorant. How could he run his mouth like that? What is he talking about? If you know, you know. I talked to you guys about that. I told you my opinion on that. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'll stand by it now. It's like I did then. So he's come a long way from a guy who, like I said, they were trying to counsel. They had written him off and said, hey, flat out, he ain't that great of a basketball player. No team is going to pick him up. Looks like Dallas picked him up, and now they're heading to the Western Conference Finals. Quite possibly could be on to the NBA championship. Not bad. Not bad at all. Rumble, young man, rumble. Oh, wow. All right. I'm going to go on and move along here. Hey, like I said, this weekend it rained. Well, Saturday, there's a little festival that goes on here in Durham every year about this time. It's called the Bembe Festival. Now, this festival is a culture festival, of course, for African Americans. It highlights our culture, our ancestry, our history. And, there's a lot of vendors, food vendors, arts and craft vendors, people that make stuff, fragrances, clothing, whatever. Very nice time to be had by all because the weather usually cooperates and it's usually pretty seasonably mild, but there has been some times where it's been extremely hot. But this weekend, by the way, it was raining. It rained Saturday. And one of the attractions, and I certainly was going, um, rain or shine, I was going to go because the main attraction, the main performer, because they usually have these performers that come nationally known artists or somewhat nationally known artists, whether it be from hip hop or R&B or whatever, what have you. R&B singer Monica was supposed to be the star main attraction at the Bembe Festival this weekend. So you know I was going to be there. I had to go see Monica. I just did. I made no bones about it. I was going to be there. But something happened. Monica took to her social media account sometime Friday evening. Well, I believe she took to the account sometime earlier in the week. Long short is, she announced that she would not be performing at the Bembe Festival as it had been announced with the flyers and the social media posts and the backing, even the backing of because it's an event that is not sponsored by the city of Durham. Uh, I don't believe wholeheartedly, or it may be sponsored by the city of Durham. But of course, city officials were talking about it. It's a yearly event. It's a great it's a great festival. If you've never been, you're missing out. It's a great place to take your kids and let them run around and do whatever all day long. So Monica takes to her social media account Friday evening or sometime earlier during the day or the day before and says she's not coming to Durham, North Carolina to a Bembe festival. She hasn't even heard of a Bembe festival. No one has contacted or contracted her, and she doesn't know where the mix-up is. She has 2 previous engagements in 2 different, not just cities, but states along the Eastern Seaboard, and she won't be able to perform. She apologized. She said, hey, I apologize to the fans out there. Somehow, some way, somebody got something confused. Nobody ever contacted me or my people, and there's no way in the world I could come. I wasn't contacted or contracted. Now, there were some, of course, like I said, officials and organizers for the Bembe Festival, of course, they were left looking like, why, what in the world happened? And city officials, the mayor, took to his social media account at one point in time when it first came out. He said, no, she will be here. This is some kind of mix-up. We're in the process of contacting her, and she will be here. But he had to backtrack a little bit later on in the evening going into the morning because he had to announce, sadly, that she would not be performing. As he put it, long short, somehow, some way, a booking agent that the city has used for numerous years, and they felt oh so comfortable with, maybe the culprit. And there's a criminal investigation underway because monies might have exchanged hands. Who's this booking agent? Who's this booking agent that got me all riled up to see Monica? You hadn't even contacted her, let alone had a contract with her. What happened? Did you take the funds? Chances are. I don't think. Like I said, the Bembe Festival is a great festival. It's wonderful. It's kid family oriented. It's a great place to come out and sit and relax and listen to music and have some eats and let your kids run amok. But it's free. But it ain't free. You got to get these artists there. So I'm sure there's some kind of monies that exchange hands. It stands to reason. It makes sense. Does it not? Yeah, of course. So where's the money? We already know the artist ain't coming. Where's the money? So the mayor took to his social media Facebook page and he said he apologized to the folks. Says somehow, some way, there's been a misunderstanding. A long-term bank booking agent that the city has used for this event for multiple years. It appears somehow, some way, there's some kind of mix-up. Still no word as of yet what the mix-up was. I mean, if money was exchanged and you can't produce what you're supposed to be paid for, and now the mayor is saying there's a criminal investigation underway and he can't comment any further. Took that money, didn't you, homie? Or homegirl. Somebody took somebody's money, and the city wants some answers. I not so much. I mean, once I heard that Monica wasn't coming, I was crushed. Oh, boo-hoo. Yeah, I really, I can say I really and truly wanted to see her. I'd never seen her perform before, so I was looking forward to that. I really was. I have seen in previous acts, I've seen a lot of great performers have came through. I believe one was Sunshine Anderson. If you're familiar with Big Daddy Kane, Brand Nubian, Nice and Smooth. Well, Nice and Smooth, I believe. I want to maybe Brand Nubian was there at one point in time. I think even Biz Marquis came. A lot of great acts come to this cultural arts festival. What in the world happened this time? Who dropped the ball? I'm sure we'll find out. I hope we find out because that was Bush League. Like I said, this festival happens every year. Ain't no way you can miss it. It is what it is, and it all goes down. And if you've ever been, like I said, I know you have had a wonderful time. I have had a wonderful time also when I went. Took my family. Just did. A lot of good, clean fun. So the city is most definitely on the case on that. They're trying to figure out where was the mix-up, or who dropped the ball, or who took their damn money. And they want to know. Yeah, because you got to answer to some people too. I know I jokingly said I really wasn't that upset, but I was pretty hurt. I wanted to see Monica. I was pretty hurt. Forgive me. All right, let's move along here. Man, Friday evening was very eventful and very much jam-packed with entertainment news. Guys know I don't usually do entertainment like that. That ain't my bag. That ain't my stick. But man, got off work Friday evening. I'm sitting at home. I'm turning on the news. And then there's the local news update, breaking news or whatever, what have you. Then the national news comes on, and it is announced. We have video footage of an incident between Sean Puff Daddy, Sean Love Combs, in an altercation from 2016 between him and the then girlfriend R&B singer Cassie, in which he can be seen physically assaulting her. Oh my. If you've seen that video, I'm not making light of it. Let me give you that disclaimer. But the build-up is the build-up for me. If you've seen that video from 2016 in that LA hotel hallway, because that's where the incident took place. Wow. Brother Love, or Love Daddy, or Playboy Love, or whatever the hell you're calling yourself now, you're canceled. Ain't no coming back for that. I mean, because I know later on, I believe it was Saturday at some point in time, he too took to his social media account, Instagram, and released a video to which he apologized, saying that he was in a very dark place, drugs, alcohol, yada, 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 rah, 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 shish, boom, bah, you name it. And he's done a lot of self-reflecting. He's gone to rehab, and he's terribly, terribly sorry for his actions. If you've seen that video, wow. I um I don't know. I mean, I know, and I know you know, and that's why I'm able to say freely and wholeheartedly, you're canceled. Ain't no coming back from that. Your apologies, it may be falling on deaf's ear because a lot of folks have came out and said, you ain't sorry, you're just sorry that that video footage got released. And the kicker for me was the video footage got released, but the whole while all this was going on between you and Cassie, and it had been brought to the light, you gave her the payment and a settlement. You said flat out it was a lie. Your team said, hey, she's on a money hunt. This is a witch hunt. They're trying to just railroad Mr. Combs. He did nothing like this. You yourself, Puffy, even said, hey, look, the truth will come to the light. Yada, 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 rah, 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 shish, boom, blah. Because this isn't the only thing that he has problems with, but this case is, it's pretty much done because the Los Angeles Police Department came out and said, hey, there's nothing we can do, statute of limitations or whatever, what have you. There's nothing we can do. But I really didn't pay attention. And this is a naivete on my part. Really didn't pay attention. They quite possibly are trying to pin or trying to throw out there a sex trafficking charge on Brother Love. Wow. Boy, you and R. Kelly. What in the hell is going on with these entertainers, these well known, seen in the public eye figures, and these sex trafficking charges? What in the world is going on? Is this part of this new trend? Because I keep hearing it. I heard it before. Is this part of this thing where you say, you fly a lady out? I think, yeah. I mean, but in this case, it sounds like then they alluded to there's some more charges that some of the young ladies or young females may have been underage. Is that a thing? I guess it is. So he not only has this looming over his head, like we all know, the feds raided his two homes, one in Miami and one in LA, and you got a sex trafficking charge or charges pending, or there's an investigation. Why, what in the world? And tell your son no more damn diss tracks. Buddy, that wasn't too tough. That wasn't. That was horrible. I don't know why you would think you needed to diss 50 Cent because he was poking fun at your pops. Yeah, tell your son to stop rapping, or don't do another diss track. Tell him he's not that great of an MC to be dissing someone. So, you got sex trafficking charges. You got this video that's now out, and you're apologizing, and you said you've done a lot of self-reflecting. You're going to rehab. You were on drugs at the time, drugs and alcohol. You were in a dark place. Yeah, I gotta say, because if you've seen that video, here's what I know you guys have seen it, and Cassie's lawyers or team have came out and said, hey, now you guys know, of course, what we were talking about. It wasn't a lie. It was, in fact, the characteristics of Mr. Brother Love Combs. He is who he is, apparently. He does what he does, apparently. So, like I said, LAPD came out and said, hey, there's nothing we can do, statute of limitations. This is very unfortunate, but the case ain't even open for us. Now, unless we find something else somehow, somewhere. Here come the floodgates. The other shoe has dropped. You're canceled. You just are. It's a wrap. You can hang it up. That video where you were seen not only punching, but kicking. Oh, wow, he's standing there in a towel because she ran out of the room somehow, some way. He had went to sleep. She runs out of the room trying to get away from him. He probably had been, hey, doing what he does, beating on her, and I guess he got drunk or high enough, and he went to sleep. So she said she was going to leave, but somehow, some way, he must have heard the door, and he woke up, and he can be seen. She's standing. She runs out the room, run down the hall, waiting on the elevator, and he can be seen coming behind her. To which he grabs her, snatches her down to the ground, snatched her by her head, snatched her down, threw her on the ground, punch, kick. Wow. All that on camera. Can't dispute it. It's all on camera. It is all on camera. Can't dispute that. You can't dispute that. You can't dispute that. There's no way around it. Everyone has seen it multiple times and is free to watch on the internet. Just like I said, I was watching the news and that came on, and sometime later when I did go to my social media feeds, my timeline was flooded with that video and comments. Yeah. Stand by for the Me Too movement. Haven't really heard too much about the Me Too movement. Are they still around? I think so. If they're not, they're coming back now. Brother Love, why, what in the world? Why, what in the world is going on with you? Wow. Dark place or no dark place? That was a bit too much. I saw domestic violence, but I also saw a little something else. And it does go, it's like a lawyer's pretty much said, his character. So I love something else in you. Maybe the rumors were true about you and your ego and how you fly off the handle. Not a tantrum, but you literally fly off the handle into a rage. Saw that in that video too. Not just the domestic violence. I'm not making light of that, but that's what I saw. So there's got to be some more, something else going on, which as far as how you conduct yourself, how you handle your anger or your displeasure with someone when someone doesn't agree with you. Yeah, you most definitely have a lot going on. And now we also know, hey, maybe Wendy Williams and Craig Mack weren't nuts. Because we all know Wendy Williams was one of the first ones to break the tale about him and how he conducts business and also his sexual activities. Yes, she was. Yep. As far as that artist Craig Mack, if you know Craig Mack, he was one of the original members of Bad Boy Records. One of the most fierce MCs I gotta say I ever heard, lyrically and his flow. He tells a tale of how he was pretty much threatened at gunpoint to do a track, and we thought Craig Mack was crazy. We thought he was crazy because he moved down here to South Carolina and joined some religious group or organization, never to be heard from again until a short time before his death, where he gave an interview and he told that tale. So, I mean, maybe we need to stop. When these folks come out and tell you about somebody, maybe we need to start paying a little bit more attention. And stop thinking they're just nut jobs because we like that person, because they entertain us so well. Wow. Brother Love. Boy, you go. All right. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go and skedaddle. I'm going to keep this kind of short today. Hey, you guys know I don't really do entertainment like that. But those two little pieces I just did this weekend, like I said, Friday, I got off work and I was like, man, what in the world's going on? Every time I turned around, it was something about entertainment. I said, wow. So I'll keep you guys updated on Puffy. And also with this Monica situation with this cultural arts festival down here in Durham, North Carolina, Bembe, what happened? Who dropped the ball? who got the money and didn't produce. Mm, mm, mm. Well, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to skedaddle. And as always, I want to thank you all for lending me your ears this morning. Continue to like, support, share, offer feedback, get in that comment section. Let me know what you guys think about the topics I'm talking about. Now, hey, like I always say, I'm pretty thick skinned, whether yeah or nay. I won't bite. I'm not going to get upset. And like I always, hey, we can all carry on in a mature adult debate without getting downright belligerent and belittling each other. And as always, thank you for listening to This Is Just a Thought with Stephen Cornegay. Amen.